14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody, and welcome on into another fantastic edition of the Put in the Book Show, Season 6, Episode 16. I am Steve. I got Rodriguez right on over here. What's the good word, my friend?
What's up, Metsies? Hey, listen, we took two out of three series just recently.
Well,
we took two out of three. No, we did take 2 out of 3 series. We got a little bit of a whooping in the middle. You know, it was like a little shit sandwich in the middle, but I mean, it got better. 2 out of 3, shit sandwich. 2 out of 3. So positive, Mets. He's positive. Let's start off the show positively.
Gotta be on the positive side
until we get mad and start cursing everybody out, which is gonna come pretty soon. Pretty soon.
Well, we have a little bit less anger on the show today, being that producer Joe is not here. Just a little bit less anger.
Well, on this show, there's a lot of anger when he's wherever he is. I'm sure there's a lot of anger.
Yes. It's just not present right here with us. You know, it's out there.
Exactly.
It's out there.
Oh, it's in the nether regions in the world somewhere out there. But
all right, what are we going to talk about today? Mets, New York Mets stuff.
Let's talk about the Mets. Why not? We're here, right?
We're going to talk about how
that's
AAA,
exactly how every fan feels. You hear that?
I know.
Right.
I've already. This is because he hears us talking about the Mets. It's already unfortunately ingrained in his mind that this is it.
That's okay, as long as he's not a Yankee fan.
He's gonna be a tough kid. That's it.
Be a tough kid.
All right, so we're gonna talk about how sometimes and sometimes not things don't translate or do translate from AAA to the majors. We'll talk about a little bit about that. What's up? What's up, Jaime? What's going on? Long time since you joined us live. I know you watched the show, but it's been a while since
welcome.
What else? We're going to talk about a couple of pitchers that were given a golden opportunity, and it's
right there.
Going so golden.
It's still right there. Still right there.
And then we're gonna play a game. So everybody in the chat, Jaime, Tom, Dom, if you want to stick around for the game that we're gonna play, it's been out there for so many different topics and subjects. It can be very nerve-wracking. Yes, very nerve-wracking. It's anxiety filled, but we're gonna do it. So we're gonna blind rank.
Life is great.
Why not throw some more
anxiety into it?
So how it works is it's blind ranking. So we're gonna spin a wheel. I've put a ton of different. We're very fancy. We're gonna have props today. A ton of starting pitchers for the Mets over the years. And so, for example, the wheel spins. It's Sid Fernandez, and so we then have to rank him 1 through 5, not knowing what's coming next, right?
Okay.
So there's every possibility that a Jacob deGrom could wind up 5 and Dave Malicki could wind up 3 or something like that.
I don't think that could ever happen. Not in this timeline. Maybe
not in real life. Yeah.
In another multiverse. Not in this one.
All right, so we don't have the dude behind you, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's just start the Bad Boy Show. Let's do it.
Start it up, dude.
Put up the box!
All right. All right. Loving it. Loving it. We're back here. Put in the book show again, season 6, episode 16. Let's dive right in. Mets
That
just
would be
take
us.
2 out of 3 from the Buckaroonies, the Buckaroos. Remember when that was a fierce rivalry for this much in the very early 90s?
When?
It was for this much time. They were battling for first place. It was Bonilla and Bonds and Douche Van Slyke and those guys.
When they were in the East. When they were in the
Yes.
East, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. 89, 90. And then we
yeah.
fell off a cliff and they were.
And
they
and what?
continued.
How many championships did they win?
Mm,
Okay. All right.
3 Bonds.
Let's not.
Bonilla.
Listen, I like the Pirates. I always like the Pirates because of Clemente, and that's a thing for me.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a Puerto Rican
That's
thing for
natural.
me. And I like the unis and stuff, but they don't pose any threat. They never really pose much of a rivalry to me. So there's only one team in our division that I've hated constantly throughout, and we know what team that is. Them.
All right, let's get into some of the behaviors of, or if you will, of this team. Starting with the 2 pitchers that we said in the open got golden nugget, golden opportunity. We traded Verlander, traded 2 Hall of Famers, and now you guys have an opportunity to put a stranglehold on your spots in the rotation, and it's not happening.
Yeah, you can't do it.
Talk to us, Rodriguez.
You just
You
want my heart to explode right off the bat with these guys, right? Okay. Who do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the loser lefty or the stupid righty? Which one?
Yeah,
Which one?
I want to talk about the lefty.
The loser lefty. Okay. What do you have to do, kid? All you have to do is throw strikes. All you have to do is throw the ball down in the zone, not try to overpower people with a high fastball at 93, 94 that's going to get rocked, because why? You don't have control. Okay, Peterson,
Bingo.
you have no control. I could see it from watching TV. I told you this a while back. I'm watching these guys real carefully, just so that.
Oh wait, sorry, we're on loop.
What's going on here? Producer Joe's here? Did he sneak
Producer
in
Joe's
somewhere?
there. He might be snoring back there. That was him waking up during his nap to turn over.
Oh, and he just turned over on the pad. I get it. He does that all the time. You hear some weird noises in the background sometimes.
Always.
So, Peterson, just try to throw your fastball down in the zone. Lower right, lower left, under the knees, right there. Live there. You're supposed to have like a sinker or a 2-seamer that drops down. Where is it? Throw it at the knees. Let it drop down. Let them reach for it. Let them go for it. You have a
I have
slider.
a
You have
question
a
for you,
curveball.
Rodriguez.
Everything's got to be low. Tell
Question
me
for you on
before I'm
Rodriguez.
going to say a bad thing about him again.
Well, I was going to further your point.
Okay, go ahead.
So it felt and it looked like he's flying open a bit as he comes forward, and that's darting his 2-seamer constantly off the plate. And if you're constantly off the plate, the ump's not going to give you that. The other thing is that what happens if you throw kind of a dead 2-seamer that starts up? Where it's going to drop right into that.
A 2-seamer is slower than a 4-seamer. First of all, it's slower, and the point of the 2-seamer is
more
for it to dip a
meatballish,
little bit. So if you want to throw that 2-seamer up, which I hope to God he's not stupid enough. I can't tell by the grip sometimes because it'll show that on TV. But if he throws that 2-seamer at the letters, what it's gonna do is this, and it's gonna slow down. So what that means is somebody's gonna hit it way, way, way far. Okay, it's to me, it's a simple fix, because if I'm watching the guy wind up and throw home, I see that when he throws that high fastball that he lets go with his left hand and it just sails up, his front leg is stiff. He lands stiff. When you land stiff, you're still up. So when you throw the ball, you're gonna throw the ball up. Okay. The thing is to extend himself. The guy's like what, 6'5"? He's a tall kid, I think, right? Peterson's a pretty tall kid, a lanky pitcher. At least he looks like it to me. what you need to do is just step a little bit farther in. Get your gait towards the home plate a little bit longer. That forces you to stay down a little bit, because if you're up high and you try to come down, that's when you fly open. That's when you're all up and you throw the ball high. But if you're down already and you throw the ball low, the worst thing that happens is the ball hits the ground, or it's a low pitch and they're not going to really swing for it. But if you're up and you're trying to throw the ball down and you don't get it down, the worst that can happen is you give up 3 or 4 runs. Now, the other day he got lucky, okay? His pitching performance was not good, by the way. Don't think that because he scored one run, he let one run go in, that he had a good pitching performance, because it wasn't. He had 4 walks. Remember, we were talking about that, the 4 walks.
And 2
that's
hit by pitch.
And 2 hit by pitch. So no
What are you
control
doing?
whatsoever. So that's 6 runners on base, people. For all the Metsies that can't count that high, that would be 6 runners on base. Okay, that's
6
for
of them things.
Terzio. That's 6, Terzio. 6 ex-wife jokes.
And for producer Joe.
Well, for producer Joe, let's not even get up that high.
Well, Peterson's 6'6", and so like you said, the gate, and with that gate comes at least the perception that your fastball is faster, because you're letting
you're letting it go a little bit closer to the plate.
Right.
If you have a longer gate, but if you stop yourself as you're coming to the plate and your front leg is stiff, you're gonna throw the ball up. You gotta get down, and there's somebody that really pisses me off on this team even more than these 2 guys, and you know who I'm talking about.
I know. I was going to ask you.
We're going to talk about the pitches first. We're going to talk about the pitches first. Okay.
How come you can see? I'm going to annoy you a little bit more. How come you can see this? A little more. And I can see this, but Mr. Hefner, when it comes to, I felt in that game that Lindor had more of an impact, because Peterson buckled down and got out of that inning after Lindor gave it to him, on the mound, which is what you need.
At the end of the day, you need a veteran, okay? And Lindor on this team happens to be the veteran, even though he's a young guy, okay? And the other thing is just sometimes you need some tough love. They're letting these guys flounder out there, and I understand that they're letting them work through the game, work through the situation, find themselves and get themselves out of the situation. But guess what? These are the pros. The reason that you're a pitching coach, the reason that you're there is to instruct these guys, not wait for them to finish the game. Jump into the game. Jump into it. Say, stop. Hold up a second. Time out. Let me go talk to this guy. You're doing this. You're doing that. You need to get here. You need to get there. Toughen him up a little bit, because it's when you start pitching bad and you start walking guys and you don't get the calls and you start hitting guys, you start shying away from contact. You don't want the batter to get any contact on you. So you start throwing even a little bit more on the outside of the plate. Sometimes you can't live on that outside corner. You just can't live on it, because they'll figure you out. These are pros. You got to come inside. You got to back them off the plate. Sometimes you got to let them hit a ball 500 miles foul, so that you can get them out on that outside corner. No, honestly, you got to let them pull the ball. Let them pull the ball, think they're going to get you. And then the next time they say, oh, wait till he comes in again, I'm going to smoke him. Guess what? You throw 94
This is spoken like a true pitcher. Spoken like a true pitcher.
Dude,
let them think they're gonna get you. Exactly.
That's the whole point. I'm talking to you like a pitcher. Now I could also talk like a batter, because I've played baseball all my life. But it's one of the few things in life, besides something else that I can't mention, that I'm a subject matter expert at, okay? Because I've played it all my life. And I don't care what anybody tells me. I know how to play baseball, and I know what's going on. So these are things that you go out throughout the game. You can't come out of the bullpen and walk 3 guys. There's no way in hell, when you're a professional ball player, that you should come out of the bullpen and walk the first 2 guys. It doesn't make any sense. If the bullpen guy is watching you, if your pitching coach is watching you, there's no way in heck you should come and do that. That's lack of preparation, or lack of warming up, or not knowing how to pitch, or because the mounds are perfect. I'll tell you this right now. The mounds are perfect. Okay. I got to pitch on that mound. it's like being on dirt concrete. It's beautiful. It's
Floating
perfection.
on water.
It's like heaven. Like it's like being Jesus up there on that mound. It's fantastic. So you can't blame the mound, okay? What you got to do is you got to figure it out yourself during the game, but try to figure it out before the game. You know, you're all I'm saying is for Peterson, watch Quintana, okay? If Quintana has a bad night tonight, let's put that in the locker and forget about it. But the first few games that he's pitched for us, if you are lefty and you watch this guy, you could really learn a lot. You
Hell
can
yeah.
learn how to pitch because
303 ERA.
up and down, staying low, you know. It's old school 303 ERA, dude. It's old school. And the way he pitches is old school because he's selectively aggressive. You know, if you don't believe you have the best fastball in the world or the best this or the best that, you can still be aggressive towards the batter by pitching an up, down, out, in, up, away. You can move the ball around, but stay within the strike zone. Especially when you look at a batter and he's far away from the plate and he's waiting for you to throw him an inside pitch. What do, Peterson? You don't throw him that two-seamer high inside because guess what? Sayonara.
Peace out.
Okay?
Peace out.
You got it. There's a lot of things that go into pitching, and this guy specifically, I'm not seeing him get it, which is a shame because just like Matt's had all the talent in the world, but his freaking brain didn't work sometimes. When his brain is on and he's concentrating on pitching, he's fantastic. You see that in Matt. Peterson has the same thing. He even throws a little bit harder than Matt. He throws 94, 95 consistently. So, you know, come on, man.
Poor Quintana is 0-4. He's getting like the DeGrom treatment out there.
Oh
nice
my
ERA
God!
and 0-4.
He must feel like our ace, you know. And he must automatically become our ace, you know. I hope Senga doesn't go through that because Senga, for some reason, he pitches really well, and the Mets are able to put up runs for him. So maybe that syndrome is not there yet. But Quintana, man. Quintana sucked that up, and that's fine. Quintana's only here for another year or so, so I'm okay with that, you know.
So teach Peterson, and then
teach Peterson, and then you can live with us for another year. Because honestly, if you have a couple, 2 or 3 lefties in your rotation, and they're solid lefties, you're gonna have a successful rotation. Because even when lefties suck, i.e. Peterson, they're hard to hit. Yes. And you give up 1 for 5 innings, even when they suck, you know. So
when did Jeremy Hefner? When did Hefner become?
Why did Hefner become a pitching coach? Because it wasn't like he was a great pitcher to begin with, anyway. Okay, it wasn't like.
What are you talking about?
He made the best of what he had. Come on,
he was dominant
for that 2 weeks stint.
Listen, he had a career win-loss record of 8-15, an ERA of 4.59.
Well, then, okay. Well, there you go.
There it is.
Keep giving me reasons to fire him, because if I'm Steve Cohen, I'm looking at Buck and I'm saying, Buck, you really want me to have a guy who's lost more than half of what he's won and who has almost a 5-point ERA? You really want this guy to be the pitching coach because he did things so well in his career. He was able to figure himself out. You know, give me you know what? Honestly, I take Bartolo Colon as a pitching coach. You know why? Because he went from 97 to 89, and he was successful for multiple years at 89.
He's a right-handed Quintana. He was in and out, up and down.
Quintana, and his ball moved. He changed his grips. He moved the ball around.
He was sneaky. He hit the ball with the belly.
He hit the ball. Well, you couldn't see half the field behind him, so you don't know where the guys were playing. Like if you're off the bat, you know you can't see the shortstop with a second baseman. Where are they?
Where's
They're
the
behind
shift?
Cologne somewhere. What's going on? Same thing for Tylor, dude. Tylor's the same exact
Let's move on to Tylor.
thing. Let's move on to him because they call him the big drip. I call him the big because let's be honest, dude. His mother, notwithstanding, Tylor has all the talent in the world, and I respect his mother. I'm not gonna say anything bad because I respect her. She's a lovely lady, and she loves her kid. Exactly. But the problem with Tylor is in the third inning, he stops throwing 97. He goes back down to 94. Okay, so there's either a condition issue or there's just something that he can't do. We have to figure that out fast. If you cannot
Please.
keep your speed
Quickly.
into the fifth, dude, I'm
He
being
even hit
loyal.
99.
Dude,
Maybe that's why
right.
he did hit 99
hit-
the other day
he hit
once.
if he's hitting those speeds, okay, it's not so much that he's strong, it's that he's fluent and flowing in that moment, and his pitching is perfect right there because he's 6'7", okay, and that's another guy that needs to be even longer coming to the plate. A 6'7" guy who can get up to 97 right now, short arming a lot of these pitches. What's going on? Why are you cursing at people, Farace?
Me?
What's going? You don't think I see this?
I
Okay.
I
You
would
don't think I
never
see these
I
things?
would
I know
never
these
say
things.
such a thing.
And I know you're cursing at producer Joe.
I've just
because
I've responded
it's
to
well
producer.
deserved. Producer Joe's making comments somewhere out in another region.
Yes.
But let's focus on Tylor right now, because I'll curse producer Joe out in 2 seconds when he's gonna say something stupid. I'm gonna see it anyway. But Tylor's another guy. Let's put it this way. These guys have talent. These guys have the arms. Now, Tylor, I'm starting to think that he might not be a starter. He might be a reliever. Okay, because if you take a Tylor and you turn him into sort of like a Dave Robertson for an inning or two, that he can come in, puff and puff 97, 98,
Yeah.
and throw a changeup once in a while or a curveball once in a while, he can get you through an inning or two. Okay, so if he
You're right.
becomes that
Yep.
guy, I'm okay with that. Let's not push him into being a starter, but you got to figure it out fast. And you got to have a pitching coach that can figure it out fast. And to be honest, I'm not sold on Hefner. And I'm not sold on Hefner even last year, because last year it wasn't Hefner really making these guys better. It was the pitching staff itself that after the innings or after the games or during the games, they would all get together and collaborate and tell each other how to pitch, tell each other what they're doing wrong. They had more of a collaboration last year, but they had more veteran guys, but it was still felt like a united pitching staff. So I don't put all that onus on Jeremy Hefner being that great. And I'm sorry to say that he's a Metsy, man, and I want him to succeed, but I also want my team to win. When I go through online and I see Pedro Martinez giving out free pitching tips, Pedro Martinez, and I'll say this in Spanish so the Metsies get it. When that man is giving out free pitching tips, why is he not in a Met uniform teaching these guys how to pitch? Okay, there's a guy that did the best of what he had. He was a 5'10" little guy, twig, throwing 97, 98, okay, and at the same time making that ball dance from here to here, there to there, making movement on that ball and throwing it hard.
With the nastiest changeup you've ever seen.
A nasty, well, Santana, our old guy, had the nastiest changeup, because I don't understand how they didn't stroke him. Oh, speaking of the devil.
Wow.
The only guy to almost throw a Met no-hitter.
Hey.
He's done, bro, when he first came out, he was fantastic. He was throwing really hard too, and that's why his changeup was so successful and it got so good. But when he started throwing 92, 93, and then his changeup was 82, 83, that's a 10-mile difference, and he's a lefty. That's why he was so successful. Martinez, another guy that learned how to pitch despite not being so physically gifted. These are the guys that you want teaching your young guys. They'll get the respect. Hall of Famer, right off the bat, Pedro Martinez. The guy knows probably every grip there is to know in baseball. Second of all, he's Dominican, so he's not really 50. He's probably about 62. Okay, so he really has more of a life, more experience than you could even imagine. All right, so I'm all for the fire Jeremy Hefner bandwagon, and I don't like firing people. Maybe demote him and put him, he could pick up the balls after the game. I'm sure there's a lot of balls in the stands that nobody finds. Give him that job. Have him team up with Vogelfat.
Oh, good Lord.
Him and Vogelfat could be a tag team duo.
Yeah, because we're going to sign him to a long-term deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent. He deserves it. I don't know what
5-year deal.
When they brought in a guy that can't play the field. The guy can't even play the field, okay? All he can do is bat, and he can't even reach the outside corner. Dude, that's the guy you pitch on the outside lower corner. You pitch him, he
Always.
can't swing that low. He's
Well,
too
they gave him
Vogel
the
fat.
benefit of the doubt. He's only making $1 million, so they said, "Hey, let's see if he." But then they kept going
Even I
out
said
and
that.
longer and longer.
Oh,
Yeah, of
come
course.
on, bro.
But
Even
now
I said
it's
that.
August
Okay.
17th. I mean, we're August 17th now. Enough.
It doesn't matter anymore. But to me, he's a bench guy. And he doesn't even sniff a DH. I don't care if he's a lefty. I don't care if it's on base percentage. Whatever it is. I don't care. He's wasting a roster spot. He's wasting a space in the lineup where a guy like Brett Batty can come in, even though he wasn't doing well, he can DH. Where a guy like Vientos can become a permanent DH and learn how to be a better player because he's struggling a little bit, but he's struggling because he's a rookie. I get that.
Of
I
course.
get that. But we're hoping he gets better because he's supposed to be that talented. But you got Vogelfats. I mean, listen. I'm looking at the Mets lineup and think about this, Farace. We got Vogelfat, 355 pounds. DJ Stewart, 325 pounds. Then you got Almonte, another 290 pounder. Okay.
What was that stat
what are we
when
doing here,
Pete and Vogelfat went back to back? It was the most amount of weight ever by back-to-back home runs. Did you see that?
Can you believe that? And it's not like we're saying, oh no, let's bring in younger, faster guys. Let's keep the younger, faster guys in the minors and not let them play. Let's bring up the old fat dudes. Have you ever seen Vogelfat try to break up a double play? I mean, let's be real here.
Wait, the other day he got almost halfway between first and second. That's it.
I mean, come on, man.
Wait, so DJ Stewart, I mean, you what'd you say, 255 or 325?
No, he's about 295.
You know what he's listed as?
Don't say 225.
I'm not gonna say 225.
What's he listed at?
I'm gonna say 210.
Dude. If 210, if he's 210, I don't have a white beard. Okay, this is an optical illusion. My beard is not
Bogey's
white,
listed at 270.
Bogey's listed at 270 when he's when probably at birth, because right now that guy, if that guy's not clocking 310 easy, I mean look at the
Dom, that's for sure. Dom says Stewart is faster than Vogelback. Come on, guys. Yeah. No, for sure. And at least he's useful.
He can play the outfield. I mean, he's made a couple of catches. He can run. Nothing against Stewart. I mean, however, if we're looking at getting better defensively and getting a little bit better, on the bases and a few other things, Stewart can't be within our field division. He has to either be on the bench. He has to be on the bench or a really solid backup down in AAA because you need speed out there, man. Even Nimmo, who they say is fast, is really not fast enough to play center. That's not the guy you want in center. You want him in left. He can cover a lot of ground. He plays deep and stuff because he has no arm, so he can't go to right. So, you have to be smart and build yourself a better team, and if you're not building a better team by playing these guys right now. Unfortunately, Buck, I will have to agree with management to play these guys. I don't care about winning anymore because you really can't.
For what?
I mean, what's the roster? You got, what's the guy's name? Auza? What's his name? The guy with the long dread.
The guy that Gary loves to say his name. Arauz.
Yeah, whatever.
Arauz.
He doesn't seem like a golf forward guy. Okay. Mendick doesn't seem like a golf forward guy. LaCastro did not go forward. Oh my God, DJ. Oh my God, Vogelfat. Almonte. All these.
Your brain is about to explode with these names that we're naming in a year. That was supposed to be
red.
Yes,
it's getting red. Honestly.
Well, I mean, for all, and this last thing I'm going to say on Vogelfat, for all the stuff that he's got the pop to be a DH. He's got 9 home runs and 240 at bats, and DJ Stewart has 4 home runs and 47 at bats.
So he
can play the field.
No, he's not a DH. Come on. I mean, come on. A DH is okay. He fits the bill of the DH, the guy that can't play the field, and he's a liability defensively, but he doesn't fit the offensive prowess of the DH. If you're gonna use a DH, find a guy. my mad cousin Max was telling me that he wanted to bring that Spanish guy that got released by Seattle, Nelson Cruz. He wants to bring Nelson
Oh, good
Cruz on the DH. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? He's
Can't
not
be
that
any
crazy.
worse.
Well, what's the difference? We got Vogelfat. Why not bring in Nelson Cruz? I mean, at least the guy's proven that he has the power to be a DH. So
Give it a
bring in
shot.
a guy that's gonna give you some pop at the DH. We have a team full of 220 hitters, bro. How do you win? I don't care what new stats you come up with. I don't care what you ever used to. Oh, the OPS, the OFG, the LFMLG, whatever it is really high. I don't give a rat's ass. If you can't even bat 220, you're not going to help the team. That's just that's a basic fact.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean, let's get into a couple of hitters. I want to talk about. We'll talk about Lindor.
Down.
And we'll talk
Boba
about
Fett.
a little bit about Pete. Francisco Lindor. I know you just said don't talk to me about OPS. However,
there it is, and he does it though, but he doesn't.
It's not a difference. It's not a new stat. It's just combining slugging and on base, which are very important.
I understand.
So his OPS is up slightly from last year, in which that year he finished top 10 in MVP voting. Right? In 161 games last year, he hit 26 home runs, 107 RBIs. In 119 games thus far, he's got 22 home runs, 72 RBI. Now, his RBI totals are going to be a little bit lower because of what's happening in front of him. And the team sucks. But he's 4 home runs behind what he did all last year in 40 fewer games. His defense is his defense. His OPS is higher. He was at what, 210 at one point. He's at now 244.
244. He's batting 300. He's batting 300 for the last
6.5 weeks or something like that. 7 weeks or something like that. And all this better than a season in which he got MVP votes in the top 10, and yet we still hear this garbage out there. What I think is garbage of him not being worth it, not being worth being brought in, trade him, do this, do that. I mean, and the leadership, I mean, that adds some millions to that also of worth. I don't get it. Do you?
They only
do you understand what's happening here?
What I understand is that people are misinformed about what Lindor does for this team. Okay, because other than the fact that he's a top defensive shortstop, I mean, have you seen this guy play short and make some of those throws? The guy's very good. Okay, I mean, very good to excellent on any given day. He wants to be a leader. He wants to be a leader in New York. He wants to be a leader for your New York Mets, the Mets that we love so much, for our team. How can you be mad at him? How can you try to trade this guy away? First of all, if you look at his track record says exactly what he's been doing this year. He doesn't play that well in the first half of the year. If you look at his stats and you look at his track record, that's what it says. And then when the hot weather comes along, he heats up, i.e. Puerto Rican, right? That's how it works. When it gets hot, we start heating up. So he heats up and he ends up finishing the year with 26 to 32 home runs, batting anywhere from 250 to 280. All right. Driving in 70 to 100 RBIs, depending on the team that he's playing on, stealing bases and playing great defense and giving you 162 games. I mean, if Lindor wasn't out there for 90,
refuses to come out of a game,
you can't even get him out when his wife gives birth. The kid is giving his all.
He breaks his finger.
Breaks his finger. He's still playing. You know what I mean? What's going on here? This is a guy that you want to be your captain. Now, he started off a little raggedy with us because he got into bad company. Javi Baez, had a little bit of a problem. That could have been resolved, but it wasn't. They shipped him away. I can dig it. No problem. Squirrel got a little bit too heated with his nonsense about throwing the bat and huffing and puffing. I'm so mad. I just, walked. I just struck out or I grounded out. Lindor's like, yo, we're professionals, bro. Okay, Squirrel, I'm going to punch you in the face, and then we're going to keep going.
You want a fresh one?
Right.
Huh?
That's it. But he does
really
owe him a
quick.
car, and he should get him his car.
Facts.
I'm just gonna say that.
Mark Vientos goes on the IL with a left wrist issue. That's from the other day when they ran into each other.
Exactly. We've been saying this all year. Your left wrist is
Abraham
weak, kid.
Almonte
there he
gets
is.
the call.
There's the other 275. What's he listed
He
at?
gets the call.
190.
Okay. I don't want to. Back to Lindor. I just pulled up his. I mean, we should know this already. This is do your research. Met fans are smart, but also not smart at the same time. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay.
Can you hear?
So I can.
Okay.
Differently, but you're good.
Yeah. Something happened to mine. So.
Okay. So
good.
here are his splits. For the first, and this is his career, so it's not just a one year. Hey, look at this. First half of the year, 264. Second half of the year, 289. Slugging is 30 points higher. On base percentage is 20 points higher. Strikeouts are much lower.
Mm-hmm.
So everything about his second half season, and that's even without this full second half of the season.
Right.
So he's really close on home runs and RBI and stuff, stolen bases. I mean, the dude's a 2020 guy. That's another thing. I know it's gotten easier to steal bases, but still, there's not a lot of them out there. 20 home run, 20 stolen base guy.
It's hard to do. It's hard for me to do even on the MLB game. I can't get that many stolen bases. So I can imagine how hard it is in real baseball.
Hey, Diana.
Lindor is a typical switch hitter. Whereas if he's batting lefty, he's got that uppercut swing. So in the beginning of the year, he always has that uppercut swing until he levels it out. Once he starts leveling it out, he starts getting more hits. And righty, the same thing. It just affects you. You bat differently from both sides. If you watch him, he has a different swing from both sides. He's not one of those switch hitters, which are very rare that have the same exact swing. I understand. I get it. I was a switch hitter too, like that. I the same with Lindor. I would swing from my heels up to my ear, man, and knock that ball out lefty. But righty, straight up contact. So I see it, but you can't get rid of a guy like that. And then people are talking about getting rid of a polar bear. How do you get rid of a polar bear, Farace? Who's crazy enough to say that?
Sal Ladushka or whatever his. I
gave him. I call him.
I forgot what it was.
But you made a comment. That's why I'm saying something about it.
Was it appropriate to say on air? No. All right. So.
Well, I probably did not give him an appropriate nickname. You're right.
So here's my thing on this guy. We've talked about it in our private in our chat. Always he's fishing and fishing and fishing. Oh, you always see, on SNY. Oh, Mets should do this and that. Tear everything down. Trade that. Oh, Sal said that. Okay, got it. Okay, understand.
Okay. So then it doesn't right away. You're like, oh, nonsensible.
Nonsense. Dom is saying a lot of fans want Alonso gone. I could not imagine why.
I have not met one fan. I have not seen one post online that says they should get rid of Alonso, other than that Sal whatever his name is.
Ladushka.
Sal Ladushka making those stupid comments. And if you're a fan and you want to get rid of your homegrown product that loves the team, that represents the team so well, that dives everywhere when he doesn't even have to be diving and get himself hurt like that, tries to steal a base. I mean, the only thing that the polar bear does wrong, or I believe even has a fault in it, is a low batting average. Okay, you got a lot of other sluggers that'll hit 280 to 300. He's one of the few old school sluggers that has a low batting average. But again, he can fix that. Farace, would you get rid of this guy? I mean, honestly, in what world?
Absolutely not. Okay, so this year is his lowest batting average. You can argue whether that the thing with his wrist, it bugged him a lot. I'm absolutely. I've tried to play through a wrist injury, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, you,
Everything just feels
swing a bat.
different.
You can't swing a bat. You can't throw a
Yeah,
ball.
and it
So-
hurts when
and
you
it
make
hurts.
contact.
Exactly.
So let's take that into account. And that's not an excuse. But last year, we're 1 year removed from this. 271, 40 home runs, 131 RBI, 128 strikeouts, which seems like a lot, but if you look at some of these other sluggers, you're looking at 180 strikeouts, 185, 90, 95 strikeouts.
Easy.
Slugging of last year, his slugging is actually a little bit higher this year, but his slugging up over 500. His OPS elite at 869 last year. This year, 844. He was top 10 in MVP voting last year. I don't buy into the 222 average. Maybe I buy into a 250 deal, which if you give me 250, 40 home runs a year, 120 to 130 RBI a year, and play the defense that he's grown to play,
Well,
sign him.
Gonna have to give us a little bit higher average to be able to stay up on the RBI numbers, okay? Because the RBI is going to be based on a little bit higher batting average, and not everything can be a home run. This could be doubles, singles, and that type of stuff. So he does have to improve. That's I don't see him having a lot of RBIs this year, again, because we have a worse team and because he has a low batting average. But this
Not
guy,
the 131. You're right.
dude, this is the guy that you dream of when you're building franchises. He's a homegrown guy, loves the team, represents you well, is a very good offensive player, and has become a good, dare I say, sometimes really good first baseman.
He picks the hell out of those balls.
I mean, he's saved this mad infield that we have right now, except for Lindor. He saved them, and even he saved Lindor a few times.
Vientos a lot.
Let's say that's the truth. So, to say to get rid of him because you think he has a perceived personality issue. Why? Because of Squirrel. If this whole thing is about him and Squirrel being friends, get rid of Squirrel. Why not?
Bye. If you want to talk about disappointments,
if he doesn't hit 300 throughout the whole year, he can't be a 220 hitter and then at the end of the year end up at 290. He's got to be a 300 hitter because, I mean, he plays good defense. He's very versatile. He plays everywhere, and he hustles like a dog. He really moves around well, and you can tell he's old school. He tries really hard. However, all you give me is average. Offensively, you're just giving me average. So stop trying to pull the ball. Stop trying to golf the ball. That's why I told you he needs to stop playing golf. That little uppercut golf swing that he has is hurting him. He needs to straighten that bat out. I get back into the coaching thing. I'm sorry, Farace. I just guys when it's simple stuff that you can fix.
This is this an example of he was, and this might be extreme, but is it an example of that he was a better hitter with the shift because he had gaps in the infield where he can slap the ball through, or that kind of thing. They play him straight up now, so it's different.
It's a change. It's a more uppercut that he has in the swing now. If they play him straight up, it doesn't matter because if he's a pure hitter, and you've seen him sometimes where he just stays alive in that bat no matter what. He throws the bat at it. He makes contact until they make a mistake, and he capitalizes on it. But he can't be the type of guy that tries to capitalize with an extra base hit, with a home run, with doubles, trying to hit for power, because his swing is not that. He's a big guy. He's 6'2". He's not a little guy, but his swing is a slap hitter swing. So if he's gonna be a slap hitter, slap to left field, slap to center field, slap between the holes. There's more holes. There's more places for him to get to get hits. It's more. There's more. See why you make me think like that, Farace? You say a sexual thing like that, and your mother thinks so. I bet your mother. You say those bad words for your mama.
Wait. All right. Dom says it was Sal talked about Alonso being bad in the clubhouse. Yes, I did see that. However, and to his credit, I know that we say these things, but about certain people. But David Cohn on that Sunday night broadcast. I'm not sure if you heard, but he came out and he says, there's some rumors about Alonso being bad in the clubhouse. He was like, that could not be any further from the truth. He said, he's a great clubhouse guy. I don't know where this is coming from, but that's not him. And so for Dave, I take David Cohen over Sal LaDusica.
Listen, even though he's a Yankee trader, and he talked bad about the Mets. That's the only thing. I don't care if they play for the Yankees. Just don't talk bad about the Mets. Yeah. But even if he is bad in the clubhouse, guess what? I'm gonna be a little brutal here, but it's his clubhouse. He's the guy. He's the big bull he's the big bull in the house. I mean, he's the big guy. Everybody else should be saying, "Okay, Pete, let's go with it. Whatever you say, let's go." Even Lindor at certain times needs to just listen. Pete is the guy on the team, and you need leaders. If you don't have leaders, you don't have a team. Not everyone can be equal millennials. You can't play this game with everybody having a voice in the clubhouse. Sometimes the guy that's the 24th guy on the bench or 25th guy on the bench needs to shut the F up, okay? Suck it up. Be glad that you're getting your $6 million to sit down on the bench all day or your $2 million. Shut your mouth. Be quiet. Let the big boys talk. And that's all there is to it. Sal.
Listen. Sal. Forget about that guy. He's just a click snub. He just wants people.
He wants views. He just wants the people to click on him and say, "Oh, look what Sal said. Isn't that interesting?"
Not. All right. We'll run through the Cardinals Mets series real quick, and then we'll do our little we'll do a round of our little game that we got. That's gonna piss us off.
Yeah.
All right, so
than this Mets team anyway that we watch. So
might as well have some fun with it while we're pissed off. All right, so tonight, Quintana and Wainwright. Quintana, we talked about it before. He's 0-4, getting the DeGrom treatment, 3.03 ERA, but at 0-4. Adam Wainwright, 3-7. This is his on his way out, 8.78 ERA.
Take that
and
through and shove it up your booty. Take that curveball.
What's going to happen though tonight, Rodriguez?
I don't
6 innings, 1 run.
I don't want the Met thing to happen because the Met thing is what? You know what the Met thing is?
I know. It's 7 innings, 1 run, 3 hits scattered.
Looks like its old self from 1996.
And it'll be Lindor's going to hit a home run, and people will say he's not worth the money.
And we lose 2-0 to them. Okay. That would be the Mets thing to happen. But we have Quintana. He can suck it all up like DeGrom and hopefully it's competitive.
I mean, be competitive with a 13 game under 500 Cardinal team.
They're the same team as us. So we beat ourselves all the time. So why can't we beat them?
Yep. Tomorrow we don't have anybody, but we just don't have anybody up there yet. Some fool named ZD Thompson is pitching for the Cardinals, 2-4, 3.96 ERA. Saturday at Senga and Mikolas. Senga 9-6, fantastic. I can't say enough good things about him. 3.30 ERA. Mikolas 6-8, 4.27 ERA. And then on Sunday, Cookie. I feel like Cookie pitches a lot of Sundays. He's ruining all of our Sundays. 3-6, 6.40 ERA.
Sure.
Wait, who is this? They have some dude Hudson is pitching on
Dakota Hudson.
Is it Dakota? I was gonna say Dakota, but I wasn't sure.
Maybe. Hey, it really helps us that we play these fantasy crap games, because
it is Dakota. Yeah,
I'm really aware of all the pitch.
Well,
who the hell of a name like Dakota now? I mean, come on,
Dakota. All right. Let's do our little game here, and then we'll hit the road.
Wait, how many games?
Wait, did I miss something?
How many games? We got 4 games.
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. I can't believe I'm on the fence about 3 out of 4 against the Cardinals in August.
I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna say 3 out of 4 because I think we can win 3 out of 4.
Yes.
But we will win.
Cookie game.
We can win 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. Got a 4.
I'm more concerned with the cookie game than the TBD game.
I'm not concerned with Cookie because I know how he's gonna fail. I can predict it already. I'll give you the stat lines later. But the TBA thing, who are they gonna bring up? Oh, the TBA thing is Lucchesi.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
they're
didn't see
bringing up.
that. Hey, Luke.
No,
Hey, he's
what?
back, baby.
Back.
Talk about a dominant lefty.
Of stellar pitching.
Hey, if you add him and Peterson together, that's 7 innings of
that's not even
baseball.
Not even a complete game. How sad that is. Anyway,
Not
okay.
even. All right, let's do the game. We're very fancy here now. We've got this very fancy board here.
We have what do we have? Video, some stuff going on. What we got?
Yeah, we got goodness here.
Uh-oh.
Look at this.
Oh, look
at this.
What is that about?
Oh,
wow.
What did I just do here?
Uh-oh. Wow.
Wait,
You're being cheated here. Wow.
What a treat. All right. So as you can see, I've loaded some Mets pitchers in here. Yeah, I was trying to get it a little bit larger, but
no worries.
Yeah. So what we have here, and Diana and Tom and Dom and Mateo, everybody in the comments, if you want to play along, how this works is, as you can see, the name. Well, if you cannot see, the name currently on there is R.A. Dickey.
R.A. Dickey. Woo.
So if that was our first spin, which it is not, we would say, okay, R.A. Dickey is number 2.
3.
And you would say 3. And then next on and so on and so forth. And then we see how ridiculous the look looks.
The little link you sent me teaching me this thing. I saw it already.
I'm explaining to the fans. They're not, they need to learn too.
I'm sorry.
The millions and millions.
All right. No, different show.
All right, so let's get this started off. First spin here. There's even some sound here. It's really amazing.
I hear nothing.
Oh, all right.
What's that say? Mark Clark.
So first up is Mark Clark. Here, wait. I think let me stop the share. I think that's why the what you call it wasn't working. The sound.
Okay.
I don't know why. All right, back up here. The sound doesn't work. All right, so Mark Clark is the first guy up. So where would you put him? 1 through 5.
5. Can I put him at 7?
I am also putting him at 5.
There you go.
Dom has him at 5. Mateo, you put Doc 5, but I don't know if you meant Clark 5. All right, so I'm gonna take him out. So
they're 2 different names, by the way. I just want to fill you in on that.
Well, maybe autocorrect. I'm giving benefit of the doubt, guys. All right, so Mateo says put him at 6.
There you go.
We've only got 5 spots. All right, next up, this. I don't know if the sound is coming through, but
I don't.
Let's see. R.A. Dickey, Cy Young Award winner.
R.A. Dickey. Honestly,
now here's the trick. Do we think that Dwight Gooden, a Seaver, like where do they like if that just comes up like that?
A lot of guys that can come up, and we've had a lot of good pitchers, but few have been as good as R.A. for us. For us as our guy, I say he's a top 7 pitcher in my mind of all the ones that the Mets have had. He's top 7. I'm not including the trader in any of these things.
Come on.
No.
Okay, so the fans are saying 2. We got a couple of 2s in here for Dickey.
I'm gonna give him a 3 because I think we can get a couple of guys. But you know what, guys, you're right. We're gonna go with 2. It's against one of my better judgment, but we're gonna go with 2. Okay. I'm with the.
I wrote him at number 3. because I got a feeling, but I
Yeah.
could be completely screwed up
better.
wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's take Dickie out here. Let's spin the wheel again. I see names like Pete Harnish, Zach Wheeler, and we got a Steven Matz.
Steven Matz. Steven Matz.
For me, it's easy because I'm not going to put him ahead of Dickie, so I'm going to put him at 4.
Put him at 4.
You're going to do 4 also. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and Mateo agrees with you at 4. Dom agrees with you at 4. So here's what we got left here. Rodriguez, you have Dickie at 2, Matt's at 4, and Clark at 5. So you have spots 1 and 3 available.
1 and 3.
And I have completely screwed myself because I only have 1 and 2 available.
Yeah. So let's see who. Let's see. Okay.
Lord. Here we go.
You're gonna get Tanada when he went.
I'm gonna get some nonsense here. Okay.
Oh, Fernandez.
We get a little El Cid.
El Cid. Yeah. El Cid, definitely a 3. Definitely a 3. He actually fits that slot really well. So when I get whoever's next is gonna be my number 1. It might suck, but
you are right.
He fits a 3.
I have to put El Cid at 2.
Oh, ridiculous! That's insane.
So there it is.
No way could he be better. No way was he better than. He was really good, but he couldn't do more than. Well, I guess in today's game he'd be a superstar, right? Because he only went 5 innings.
Yeah.
6.
He threw he threw that rising 4-seamer that nobody could.
He was so quirky, and he's a lefty. I tell you, lefties no matter what. Even
his delivery, his windup is so, and he was. I mean, everything about him was.
Everything about him was off. It's hard to hit a guy.
All right, so let's remove Sid here. So, all right, so nothing changed for us. Our 2 is now for me, El Cid. You're 3. So now we both have number 1 left.
I
we
know.
Have both left one number 1. Mateo says this is getting awkward. Yes.
Just to curse me.
Here we go. This is Rodriguez and I, number 1.
Oh, this is brutal.
Come on, baby.
Come on.
Oh, it's gonna be something good. Yes, the franchise, baby.
Dude.
Right.
Oh,
all right. So,
goodness gracious.
We have the exact same list except for El Cid and Dickie are backwards, which makes your list better than mine.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes. So, how about look at Tom Seaver coming in clutch one more time.
He even does it from the other side. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you.
It is.
You should be our pitching coach. You're as good as Hefner.
You're much more inspirational.
Oh,
much more inspirational.
Dude, I
can't all right.
Play this game. Now, you know what? I wasn't happy to play this game because it annoyed me that you wanted to play a game. But now I'm almost glad I did.
You see? We could always rotate, we could do shortstops and second baseman. And
now I'm in. Now I'm in.
It's unlimited. Closers.
I'm in. And I hope we have
pitching coaches
that'll play with us. Oh, we could do coaches.
It's gonna be great. But our fun is up here because there's a game here coming on in just a few minutes in St. Louis. So let's get up on out of here. We will have nobody put anybody to sleep tonight because producer Joe is not in the building. But Rodriguez, what you got on the way out here?
All right. Well, listen, we missed you, producer Joe. We missed you, Big Lares. You haven't been around for a while, so love to your brother. Let's go Metsies. Let's take 3 out of 4 from these Cardinals and at least look like a better team. DFA Vogelfat, DFA the Fat Crew. That's all I'm gonna say. Later.
There's a line in Horrible Bosses, if you've ever seen that, where
I only look at Jenna. I don't know what's in the cat.
The boss goes, all right, I want you to trim the fat. You know, the bad workers typically, right? And he's like, oh, bad worker, no, I fire all the fat people. Okay.
Listen, don't make it seem like I don't like fat people, because I'm
No.
Mr. Skin and Bones here myself. But the point is that these guys are not good enough for our team. We should look for better.
They're not ball players. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Softball guys. You know, I could.
That's right. I didn't say what kind of ball.
Can't you say Bogofat? Seeing him, can't you see him down at Oakland Park over there? You know, with a big shirt on that says Gary's Bar and Grill, and in shorts and high tubes
with a loaded bat.
A loaded bat because he needs it. Come on, I can see him.
All right, so that'll do it for us this week. 4 with the Cubs, with the Cardinals. Let's just see what we got out there. Play the young kids. Obviously, Vientos go on the IL for a little bit with that wrist thing.
A little mental,
but
too. Let's not call it just the wrist thing.
Maybe. That's another thing. Maybe we'll talk about this next week. Some fundies that the Mets are missing is calling for the ball. It's been a struggle, and I don't know why, but maybe we'll talk about that next week. But let's get through this weekend. We'll keep you updated on all the things going on with the Mets over the weekend and into next week. And until then, and until producer Joe gets back, maybe next week, if we're lucky. I don't want to say if we're lucky. He could play the game. He could spin the wheel, and he could also play the game and make a terrible list.
He's got a list of Tom Seaver, and Tom Seaver.
That's it. All right. Peace out, everybody. Let's go, Mets.
Put it in the box.